Hey everyone, it's Jonathan here, founder of Driving Academy, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the shocking news about the doubling of the truck driver shortage by 2028. We already have a huge shortage now. It's about 80,000 truck driver shortage, and they're predicting that by 2028 that trucking shortage will even double again. So 160,000 driver shortage is what these individuals are predicting on this article that you see right over here. That being said, let's talk about why is there a trucking shortage and how this can help you or potentially hurt you in the trucking industry as a whole. So there's mainly like 3 different reasons why there's a trucking shortage. Reason number 1 is going to actually be the fact that there's a high turnover rate. So what does turnover rate mean? That means in this industry, a lot of people kind of get in and get out and get in again and get out. So because people on average do not last that long in the industry itself, it requires people to actually hire more drivers so then they can keep up with the demand itself. Now, why is there a high turnover rate? Well, there's a few different reasons for that. One, they kind of trying to make a quick buck at it, and they're not really understanding that wealth takes time to create. They have all these understandings of, hey, I'm going to be a trucker for 1 year. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to make all this money. And then they do it. Usually people who have that mindset are people who actually think very short term. And then when it comes to like getting their CDL license or going through the training, they're trying to get this thing done as fast as possible. And what winds up happening with them is that now all of a sudden they don't have the skill sets needed to actually keep their job for long term. They don't have the skill sets needed to actually be a safe driver. And then they get themselves into trouble and they either get let go or they kind of phase out simply because they took way too many risks. So because people have this bad expectation of, hey, I'm going to make $200,000 my very first year coming out of school, then in that case, it's kind of going to motivate somebody in the wrong direction without getting the proper foundation. For people who actually have clear expectations of what trucking can actually look like for them, where it's going to be a steady growth of income as their skills improve and they're in it for the long term, they're going to be able to live a life that most people cannot even live because of the skill set that's going to be so valuable that the marketplace is going to pay you so much more money for. Simply, what does that mean? It means the better you become as a truck driver, the more safer you are with the right company. You're just going to get paid more and more and more every single year. We were talking to somebody the other day who was a trucker for like 2 years, and he was already making over $100,000 a year. Now, he didn't start that way. There was ways that he can actually get to that level of income. And before he got a CDL license, he was only making like $2,000 a month. So that being said, trucking is a great way that you can actually move the whole thing forward. Another reason why there's potentially a lot of high turnover is because people are not getting the jobs that they wanted right out of school. And the downside behind that is usually those people are people who kind of rush into the industry again. They might choose the bad school to go with that don't have any connections. And then in that case, they're stuck to get the bottom of the barrel type of jobs. Because a lot of people who don't go to the proper schools, they actually have a problem of finding their first job right out of school because a lot of companies are not willing to hire people with no experience. One of the things that we specialize here at Driving Academy is having lifetime job placement. And what does that mean? It means we're here to help our students find a job up until the day they die. And because of that, we've actually acquired a whole network of actual companies who are willing to hire our students right out of school with no experience, and then they are able to stay more stable in the marketplace, get the job that they want that most students coming out of school cannot. And that means that they're able to be happier and stay a lot longer. So it all depends on how you start, because how you start something is usually going to be how you finish it. Now, reason number 2 why there's potentially going to be a bigger trucking shortage tomorrow than there is today is because of people getting older in the industry. So the average truck driver, was actually watching a video the other day, and it said like the average truck driver is like in their 50s to 60s, and that's the average, which means that there's people who are a lot older than that in the industry as well. Of course, there's people who are younger, but the truckers itself are aging out of the industry. And there's not enough new people coming into the industry. So that's actually going to increase the actual trucker shortage rate, because of when all these baby boomers kind of retire, then all of a sudden there's going to be this huge gap that's going to be needed to fill by somebody. That being said, why is the average trucker in their 50s to 60s? That's because America and colleges have done an amazing job of marketing of, hey, you don't need a trade, everyone should go to college, everyone should get a degree. And when you actually look at those stats, it's like more than 70% of the people who went and got a degree in college are not even using anything that they got in college for. They're not even working in the field of their degree at all. So they did an amazing job of actually marketing to people for many years after the baby boomers to actually, hey, go get a college degree. And then all of a sudden now we're starting to see the whole flip side. And did you know that an average truck driver can make about $75,000 a year? That's right. It's going to be more than most Wall Street companies pay. It's going to be a lot more than the average income of American individuals as a whole. So trucking is a great trade industry to actually get into, and it can be potentially an amazing opportunity for you, especially as this shortage goes up. And then the third and final reason why potentially there is this shortage that's going to continue to grow up until 2028, it's supposed to double, is because of the growth of the economy itself. So anytime the economy grows and places like Amazon continue to get bigger, more products have to get transported on our roads, because everything that you see right now in your room, the thing that you're holding in your hand to watch this video, has been transported by a truck. So the more things that are created, the bigger the economy grows, the more demand there is for the service. So you're going to kind of have this perfect storm. What does this actually mean to you? This means that when the shortage goes up, then we start talking about supply and demand. So when there's little supply and high demand, which is truck drivers, there's going to be a little supply of truck drivers and there's going to be a high demand for truck drivers. What do you think happens to the truck drivers' wages? They go up. Last time this happened, there was a huge surge of how much truck drivers were actually getting paid, and the benefit packages and everything that the companies had to do to try to acquire as many drivers as possible. And this is going to be great for anybody who actually has their CDL license and who's looking to stay in the industry for a few years, because that means there's going to just be an upward trajectory. The bigger the driver shortage gets, the more valuable you become with your actual CDL license. Imagine being in an industry that will never lay you off and that people will be fighting for you to work for their company. You probably have never experienced that before. Probably have experienced the opposite, where you have to apply to all these companies and then you have to beg them for work. Now, when you actually become a truck driver and you get your CDL license and you're skilled in that fact, at that point, then companies will be attracting you to say, hey, come work for me. No, you come work for me. No, you come work for me. And you get to decide, hey, which company do you fit into the best? So if you want to ride this wave and make as much money as possible in the industry, right now is actually probably the best time to get started. In order to get your CDL license, you need a two-step process. Step number one, pass a few different written tests to get yourself a CDL permit. Step number two is pass a 2.5-hour-long road test to get your actual license. That being said, we have a whole bunch of options available for you here at Driving Academy, where we can actually guarantee that you walk away with your CDL. The way our guaranteed training programs work are we're going to give you over 100 hours of training plus unlimited tries at the test, which means you pay one price and you get to keep trying until you actually walk away with your CDL license, no questions asked. We also offer lifetime job placement. We're open up 7 days a week. And the other cool thing is, if you're working and maybe you don't have all the money, all you need to get started is $500, and then we can get you a payment plan for the rest with no issues at all. That being said, if you are interested in signing up, I definitely invite you to check out our website, cdldrivingacademy.com. Again, cdldrivingacademy.com. And then we can see any location near you. If you're coming from out of state and there's no location near you currently, contact our Linden office. We're able to service you no matter what state you're actually coming in from. So I'll see you soon, and let's get you on the road to freedom. Thanks.
Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure you hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel. It's really going to help us out. Click on that button. And if you want to continue yourself on your road to freedom, here's more videos to watch. There's endless amounts. Hopefully we get to see each other one day very soon. Thanks.